I could not understand what Karthik ji has said, except few things which were translated by Kamal Hassan ji. But one thing I can feel, I used to come to Tamil Nadu for many, many years. I have made some interventions in Shivakasi, Virudnagar area to rescue children from some industries, matchsticks, firecrackers, etc. But today I can say that I'm not alone. I have so many friends, so many sisters, so many brothers. People sitting on the dais and the people sitting in front of me. So if somebody is so rich, having so many influential friends, I refuse to accept that we cannot end child slavery. When I was receiving the Nobel Peace Prize, normally I'm not used to read. The Nobel Committee said that you have to send a written statement because it would be used for researches and so many other things. So I prepared some notes, but standing on the dais, I lost the papers. So everybody was nervous. King, Queen of Norway, Prime Minister. And I was told that Nobel Peace acceptance speech is the second largest watched episode. And the first on the top is the FIFA Football World Cup final. So I was satisfied that I am standing on the second. But losing your papers, what would you do? I smiled. I was more comfortable. I remembered a story which I read in my childhood. Suddenly came to my mind. I told them there was a heavy fire broken out in jungle. All animals and birds were rushing out for a safer place, including King Lion. Then Lion noticed that there was a tiny hummingbird flying straight towards the fire. He was shocked. And he shouted, "What are you doing? Committing suicide?" The bird said, "No, sir. I am going to extinguish this fire because I was born and grew up in this jungle." Lion again shouted, "How come? How would you do it?" She answered, "Look at my beak. I am carrying a drop of water. I am carrying a drop of water and I am doing my bit. Rest is the history." I told those people, I told the whole world, 1 billion people watch it that day, which is live on CNN, BBC, and almost all channels in the world. I told that this is my story. This is my philosophy, this is my life. I never bothered, I never cared. I never invested, forget about money because I didn't have money after giving up my career as an electrical engineer. But I never invested one single minute to think that how my name or my face would appear in the media or somewhere the people know me. I never care, even now. But I have a very strong determination, still have. I am not going to leave this land, and my land is not India. My land is Pakistan. My land is Nepal. My land is Bangladesh. My land is Africa. My land is America. My land is Asia, everywhere. This is the land which I belong to. And I am not going to leave this land without ending this scourge on the face of humankind. I am not going to take much of your time, but when I started, nobody was talking about this issue. India did not have any law against child labor. Most countries didn't. Even the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child was adopted by the General Assembly in 1989. I started in 1980-81. I refuse to accept that any child on the earth is born to work at the cost of freedom, childhood, education. No sin can be bigger than the denial of dreams of a child. I refuse to accept. But when I started, Gandhiji once said, and I remember always, that first they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight with you, and one day you will win. But I have not yet won. When I learned from the President of India, I met him, Sumedha, and I went to meet him and greet him because he invited me, Pranab Mukherjee ji, at Rashtrapati Bhavan, to greet and congratulate. He was very emotional, Kamal Bhai. He said that it would be the first time in the land of 1.3 billion people that the Nobel Peace Prize medal or any Nobel medal would come to this land. It came back when Rabindranath Tagore ji got it 100 years ago, but it was stolen. The second medal came, but it was taken away by the great-grandchildren of C.V. Raman. So there is no medal lying on this land. So I thought that how come this medal belongs to Kailash Satyarthi? Since it is the only one in this country, it must belong to every Indian. So I wrote a letter to him. I said, "Dear President, I wanted to give it away to my nation, to India. Through you, you should accept it." He called me back. I went again to Rashtrapati Bhavan. He said, "Kailash ji, did you write this letter?" I said, "Yes." "Are you sure?" I said, "This is my handwriting, sir." He was sitting like that. He said that, "Do you know it never happened in the history of 100 years of Nobel Prize that anyone has ever given the medal to the nation, to the people of the country." I said, I am not a saint. I am not a great person. I am a very, very ordinary Indian citizen. So I can dare to do it. He said, "No, it is not possible. There is no protocol." I said, "Okay, sir." I went back, and when I was bringing the medal, I thought that I will leave it to Rajghat at Mahatma Gandhi's place, because Gandhiji's name was nominated several times, but somehow he could not get. But when I came back, I got a call from Rashtrapati Bhavan, and then they informed that President has made a new protocol and he can receive this thing from me. So Sumedha ji and I went, my friends and my son and daughter. I gave it to him. And I cited Kabir Das. मेरा मुझ में कछु नहीं, जो कछु है सब तोर, और तेरा तुझको सौंपते क्या लागत है मोर. It was not for the President of India, it was for the people of India. It was for you and you and you. Nothing is mine, nothing is mine. The children who are sold and bought like animals, and sometimes in lesser price than the animals, they are our children. When we are standing here for two hours watching the movie and talking, at least 16 children will go missing, might have gone missing. Their mothers must be crying. They are not going to celebrate any festival, any Christmas, any Eid, any Diwali, Dasara. They will keep on crying and waiting for their children if we are not able to restore them back. 16 children in these 2 hours. 8 children, young children, 3 months, 4 months, 8 months, 1 year, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years.